Explosions continue at the military airfield in the village of Vesele in occupied Crimea. An ammunition depot in the Dzhankoy district was also hit. The enemy's rear is being steadily destroyed. In the early morning, powerful explosions echoed in Moscow due to a drone attack. Let the Russians experience all the delights of life. Hello friends, I am a Ukrainian who does not leave the territory of his country. I would like to tell you what is really happening at the front with the help of animation and the information that the armed forces of Ukraine give us. Please support my work by liking it and also believe in our victory. Soldiers of the National Guard of Ukraine, who bravely held their positions during the Russian assault in the Kreminna Forest, destroyed 3 T-90M breakthrough tanks. Great job! The first tank broke apart because it hit a mine trap. The second and third tank were destroyed by Javelin. So much for Russia's super tanks. Just scrap metal on tracks. The Belomoskovsk, Siversk and Belgorod sections remain unchanged. Svatovo direction. Fighting continues south of the village of Masyutivka and in the Serebrensky forestry. Near the village of Karmazinivka, the enemy continues to advance in the direction of Cherneshchina. Kupiansk direction. The Russian Federation has brought reserves to the area of the villages of Vilshany and Tavolzhenka, as well as equipment, artillery and ammunition. They have been conducting assault operations in the direction of the town of Liman for days without success. Ukrainian aerial reconnaissance aircraft are actively working on these reserves to detect and destroy the occupants, which is what prevented the Russians from launching an assault last month. Bakhmut direction. Fighting continues north and west of the village of Klishivka. There are also fighting to the west of the village of Andreevka. Fighting is also ongoing in the village of Kurdumivka. These are the three areas where the fiercest fighting is taking place in this sector. Over the past week, the area of 4 kilometers was liberated in the Bakhmut sector. In total, the area liberated in this sector amount to 35 kilometers. Ukrainian armed forces conducted successful offensives on the southern flank over the past week, and now our troops continue to advance gradually but steadily. Avdiivka sector. Actively hostilities resumed near Nevelsky village. The situation in the Berdyansk sector remains unchanged. Fighting for Staromayorsky is ongoing. Zaporizhia sector, no changes. Heavy fighting continues to the north of Robotene. The battle of this village is very bloody for both sides. A significant number of enemy FPV drones were spotted in this area. The Ukrainian armed forces succeeded near the village of Kamensky. The Ukrainian armed forces are advancing in the Tauride sector and defeat almost 2 companies of the occupants in a day. 30 pieces of enemy military equipment were destroyed. A tank, 7 armored personnel carriers, 12 artillery systems and mortars, and vehicles. 7 enemy ammunition depots were destroyed. The situation remains difficult near Karmazinivka. The enemy continues to attack. The enemy goes crazy when Ukrainians conduct assaults using Western equipment. As soon as Leopards or Bradleys appear on the horizon, everything the Russians have at hand starts flying at the equipment, and attempts to hit it with Lancet and FPV drones have been recorded. For example, to destroy one Bradley unit, the Russians used at least 1 Lancet and 1 FPV drone. However, no artillery targeting of the advancing forces was observed. Drones were the main means of destruction. Russian troops have built a network of fake trenches to lure Ukrainian soldiers into them and remotely blow them up, said military expert Michael Kaufman. The former US military officer, who is now helping to demine Ukraine, noted that he and his team encountered extremely complex minefields in which anti-tank mines are protected by anti-personnel mines and other explosives, surrounded by booby traps. At the same time, experts believe that the Ukrainian armed forces will gradually succeed in exhausting the occupiers, but this will require a lot of artillery ammunition. Colonel of the Ukrainian Armed Forces Reserve, former General Staff Officer and military expert Oleg Zhdanov said that the Russian motorized rifle regiment in the area of Pervomaisk in Lugansk region refused to fight. The occupiers complain about heavy losses, lack of support, rotation and mid assaults. According to Zhdanov, some of the units there are manned by 50%, which is effectively a non-combatant force. However, Russia is not replacing them, but is beginning to combine them. In addition, the Russian military is afraid because Russia does not take the wounded from the battle. They realize that if they are wounded, they are likely to die on the battlefield, and they will not be rescued. However, they still fear 10 years in prison for disobeying orders at the front more than death. These are events that are known at the moment. Glory to Ukraine, glory to the heroes.